of this shady economy, these private restaurants where there's a lot of food, but it costs to eat there more than our monthly salary, and there are lots of luxury goods, but perhaps we have to go through all of this. But nevertheless, it does seem to me the residents of Kaliningrad, which is the former Königsberg, perhaps have it a little bit better, and that's the result of this free economic zone. So that when we enter into the new year, let us look into the future with optimism. Let us believe in the beginning of new and good changes. If it's true that clothing means a lot, then these young people don't have anything to worry about. They are dressed in these leather jackets, not because this is a New Year's present from St. Nicholas. They sewed them themselves in the Saratov leather factory. Next year, the first delivery will go to the stores. The factory has now become profitable after millions of rubles of debts and red ink. We have opened the doors to private capital. 60% of the stock went to the collective workers, and later, and the rest was picked up by other organizations. This is reliable. There are new prospects for cooperation with foreign investors. Investments in Saratov leather goods. We have firms in Italy which do want to make these investments. It's impossible, it's improbable, but it's a fact. But these dresses were sewed in Moscow factories. Muscovites have only now seen these dresses, although they've already been to Europe, and soon they'll be taken to Japan. Afterwards, they use the money which they've earned to buy accessories. Our goal, said Gennady Zinau, who is the chief designer, was to come up with clothing which was not for the cover of a magazine, but for be appropriate for everyday wear. Of course, this is only a drop in the sea. But they say that on the new year, no matter what you wish, everything will come to be. So perhaps in the new year, we will be able to go into a store and finally buy that which we like, without lines and without getting into leaving our name to come back later. So Happy New Year, especially to our women. Let them be happy, healthy, young, and beautiful for always. I love all of you. So the two Koreas have signed a declaration today on declaring Korea to be a non-nuclear zone. These and other agreements between Seoul and Pyongyang, according to the AP press agency, should lead to a relaxation of tensions in this last theater of the Cold War. Good news from Yugoslavia. The leadership of the Federation, the President of Serbia and the leadership of the army have agreed to accept UN troops in Yugoslavia. Today, the Yugoslav army, in agreement with the agreement, withdrew from Slovenia and Croatia its troops. Croatian and Serbian partisan units are still fighting. President Bush is traveling to the Pacific region. Today, he arrived in Australia, which coincided with a good piece of news for Bush and his wife, Barbara. According to public opinion polls, they are at the head of the list of the most popular personalities in the United States. Among the most popular people among Americans is Mr. Gorbachev in 4th place. Among the most popular women on 2nd place, according to this, is Mother Teresa. In a few days, she will be leaving the California hospital where she's been going through treatment. She won the love of millions of people throughout the world with her help to lonely, sick people in Moscow. In an old folks' home, she founded a charitable center. In Marseille, there was fighting between the police and Kurdish refugees from Iraq who want to get political refugee status. As of late, French authorities have made more rigid their rules for political refugee status. Imelda Marcos has been nominated for president. She has not given her permission. She is the widow of the former dictator of the Philippines, Fernando Marcos. In Ankara, There was a bomb exploded next to a newspaper. Several persons were wounded, and the terrorist organization, Islamic Resistance, took upon itself the responsibility. A new telescope was now going to open new secrets. And this is the Stalton telescope in the Livermore Laboratory in San Francisco. And this is free fall, demonstrated by American sportsmen. This is high flying, but the main thing, one of them joked, was not to forget to open your chute. During a group jump, the lines of two of the chutes got tangled up, but the one parachutist managed to cut himself free, and only 80 meters above the ground, his reserve chute opened, and he stated this would not influence his decision to participate in the World Championship in '92. In the American Park, in a zoo in Tampa, the baby elephant Benny was born, and he weighs 109 kilograms. This is Rome during the New Year celebration. These are thousands of pilgrims who come here to become become participants in the great religious holidays of Rome. This Moscow at this time of the year is like Rome at this time is like Moscow in April. There are no bank operations going on. A lot of other things have been closed down, and there are a lot of conversations going on here in Rome as to what is going to happen in the former Soviet Union. This is a holiday of general love and goodwill. It's a pause for thinking, for pondering, a time for summing up, and a time to cast a look into the future. One more domestic piece of news. The overfilled viewing halls and theaters have now become half empty. And so the new theater artist or actor has been created on the basis of cooperation between business and art. And this gives us hope for a rebirth, a rejuvenation of our spiritual life. This is a theater for the actors, not for the directors, not for the audience, but for the actors. That's the main thing. How much we want to speak with happiness about our favorite actors, Natalia Fatsieva, Igor Yasulovich, Valentina Malyavina, people whom we liked so much and we haven't seen for so long. And so this light French vaudeville, a surprise of a family weekend. Aside from receiving pleasure as a member of the audience, I am surprised by the atmosphere of love and goodwill toward each other. That's who can take the credit for that? We have a very good company. That's rather unusual in the theater. But in dramaturgy, lack of conflict is bad. But in the drama of life, that's a good thing. We have been in a number of situations and we've learned to draw lessons. And this hall is almost always full. Today they're playing in Moscow, Tsedri, tomorrow in Saratov, the day after tomorrow in Chelyabinsk. Whatever they earn, that's their money. So let's take each other's hands so as not to perish singly, as it's said in the song. So one more piece of truth: the world has survived because it has learned how to laugh. Our program is coming to an end. They say that you're not supposed to congratulate people on the leap year, but you can wish them the best. So I wish you warmth and mutual understanding in your families, lots of smiles no matter what happens, and perhaps then the year will turn out to be better than we had hoped. In these last days of the old year, we've always had a monkey on our show. Perhaps we're looking for the goodwill of the new year, of the next year. There's a lot of reasons for this. So Katya, the monkey, is visiting us here today. Let's hope that she will bring you luck and luck to our program. Is it true that monkeys have a bad personalities, and that's why the year of the monkey is a bad year? Don't believe it. It all depends on culture and upbringing. Anyone who gives good will receive in kind. Come to see me. Come over here, Katya. So, what should we say about people here? Oh, good girl, Katya. So, congratulations on the coming New Year. And here we have sports coming up. You're listening to simultaneous interpretation from the Russian by John Glad. Hello, comrades. You know, no matter what happens in society, aside from wars, sport is always with us. And those sporting traditions which we have and which will be continued in our life will remain traditions. More than 20 years ago, the famous skier Kolya Manjosov invented this cross-skiing event on the 31st of December, and so it's called the Manjosov ski run. And that's remarkable.